Good morning. It's Sunday, April 11th. I bought a portable coffee grinder. This is a, I believe, Japanese-made Porlex mini coffee grinder. I also bought this, which inside here is a camping or portable AeroPress coffee maker. So I'm bringing some recently roasted organic coffee beans with me up on the mountain, and I'm gonna make some mountain coffee. Today I am again coming to Mount Iwate. I couldn't help myself. It was just so beautiful. But today I'm not taking the same course I took the other 4 times I've climbed it in this year. I am at the Omisaka Trailhead, which I haven't done in almost a full year. And so I'm a little excited to see what the conditions on this trail are. And I can't wait to try out the mountain coffee. Today the bears are very much awake, so I have my bear spray with me here. So it's almost 8:30 in the morning. Better get a move on. The very beginning of the Omisaka route goes through this beautiful little forest. It's getting a little bit snowier as we move up. We're now at 900 meters in altitude. It's about 45 minutes into the hike, and I'm now up at about 950 meters. Before it was kind of just gradually up, but now it's coming more to, yes, I'm going up a mountain, that feeling. This trail is of course called Omisaka, which you might call the divine slope, if you wanted to translate the kanji literally. Back to it. We're right here, right now, about halfway up. Came up here, and then just gotta go up here, round, and today we'll go back down. All this other glory will have to wait for later in the year when there's less snow. Sky's blue, couldn't get any better than this. It's opening up here. We've reached about 1,280 meters according to my new Garmin watch that I got recently. Check this out, huh? Bit expensive, but I figured it's a good safety precaution. It's got a GPS, a compass, all sorts of other features, and it'll even send out a sort of beacon to if I need to be rescued or something. There's all sorts of great features. This is the Garmin Fenix 6 that I just bought. Not sponsored, no one's paying me. In fact, I paid full price for it. Maybe not the greatest idea, but I'll put it to good use. Yes, I will. Gotta love that view. Up though, damn. Whew. Don't want to go down that way. It's interesting to me how my comfort zone has shifted over the years. This place where I'm standing right now and this area that I just passed through is pretty much right at the edge of a fairly steep ledge. And there's just this little thin rope that you hold on to as you walk along it. And now I'm kind of okay with that. But I really think a few years back I would not have been. It just goes to show baby steps. Take a little at a time and you get used to just about anything. Even walking on ledges, which, to be fair, it's really not that dangerous. If you just watch your footing and hold on, it's not. But it's that thing, whereas if you're walking on like a plank that's a foot above the ground, it's no problem. But that same plank, put it 10 meters up, even with no wind, and you're gonna freak out. It's just like that. It doesn't have to do with the safety all the time. So I'm getting better at controlling my nerves around heights. Yay!
bit deep here. Look at this, up to my knees, huh?
So I'm up here at about 1,930-ish meters. The summit is just behind me. I've come a little out of my way to get this nice little viewpoint, and I'm gonna stop here and try to make coffee. Let's see how this goes. I put the beans in this little grinder, and I'm just gonna grind them here really quick. So I've gotta grind the coffee beans first. Okay, so the coffee beans are now all ground. Ooh, very fine, almost like espresso, which is kind of what you want for the AeroPress, apparently. Am I still on camera way over here? Fuck. All right, so let's see here. So the way an AeroPress works is you've got a filter on the bottom of this, and then you just put in the coffee beans, a little bit of water, stir it up really well, and then, yeah, press it. Let's give it a go. The other important part of this is this thermos, which is another Montbell thing. Yeah, it's the cheapest mountain brand around that I can afford, and it's still high quality. I put boiling water in here about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours ago, and it should still be about 90 degrees, which is good for making coffee. Ooh, nice and hot. Stir it up. So this is the AeroPress right here, and I'm just gonna, yeah, press it. Makes that satisfying little hiss at the end. And what do we have but some very good, Oh, it's hot too. Good, to be honest, I could have put a little bit more beans in here. Maybe it's a touch weak. Is it though? Perfect. Nothing like fresh, organic, artisanally small batch roasted coffee at 1,930 meters. Could have tried to do this at the summit itself, but I thought it might be a little bit too crowded up there, so this is even better. After I finish this coffee, what do you say we check out the summit? As usual, this gravel trudge up the last little bit to the rim of the caldera is one of my least favorite parts of the hike, but it's quick, doesn't take long, and it's good exercise. See, that's where I was, right over there, drinking the coffee on top of that rock right there. Not bad, huh? And in the blink of an eye, we are up here on the rim of the caldera. So this is my 5th summit for the calendar year 2021 and my 40th summit of Mount Iwate in my life. Nice day for it. It's clouded over a little bit, but that's actually feels good too. So I have to be totally honest, the coffee that I made here, it was good, but it was a little weak. Next time I'm gonna put more grounds in. I still haven't quite mastered the size of that cup and the number of grams of coffee to put in, but it was nice to do it up there. I've really transitioned in my hiking recently from trying to get to the summit as quickly as possible to just enjoying the way and exploring a bit more. Today I took this big detour over to the Onigojo area that I really like and relaxed over on one of the rocks up there and just putzed around. And so I finally came up here to the summit, but it was almost like an afterthought today to come up here. Well, not really an afterthought. I gotta tag this for number 5. I'm surprised at how few people there are. There were a number of people climbing from the Umagai Trail, but only 3 others that I saw going up Omisaka, despite this beautiful weather. As much as I'd like to stay up here all day, it is gonna take me quite a bit to get down. The Omisaka Trail is really steep and I'm gonna have to be really careful on the way down. So I'm gonna start heading back so I don't get caught in the dark. I've got another 4 hours probably of light, which should be more than enough to get back. But I don't like to cut it close. Let's take a look at these views, huh?
A little bit of fresh snow here on the summit, but mostly melted. Mount Iwate is breathing. Just rising, swirling. If I were of the shamanistic persuasion, I would say this is the spirits dancing. It's making a little whirlwind. Look at that. Someone asked me to show the shrine in a little bit more detail, so allow me to show you what is in this little shrine here. There are, of course, Buddhist and Shinto symbols here. Here's Jizo-sama. Jizo is, of course, the protector of children and travelers. These lion-looking hens are Gongen, a deity, Gongen-sama. And this interesting metal shape says safety. It's from the Koiwai farm, and it's a prayer for safety. See some koi fish there for Boys' Day? Someone's put them around what looks like a weapon. That's interesting. Of course, here's the main shrine. Someone has donated osake, various statues, various things donated by various groups. So that's the shrine. Don't have too much time to dawdle. Sunlight is burning.
A lot of people like hearing tales of ghosts and yokai, these sort of Japanese spirits. I don't have one of those today, I'm sorry, but let me tell you a little short story of my cultural ignorance. That's perhaps another topic that might be a little interesting. This is from 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I was living further out in the countryside than I am now. There was an old man in his early 80s who lived a couple of houses down, which means a few hundred meters down the road, because this is really rural. And as I'm walking to cool down after a run one morning, he says, "Would you like a bicycle? I have this old bicycle that I don't need. It's just taking up space in my shed. Could you use an extra bicycle?" And I thought, well, yeah, sometimes my family comes to visit me and I have friends come to visit and it's always good to have an extra bike for them. So I said, sure. Can I, pay you something for it? It's like, no, I don't need anything for it. I just, you're doing me a favor by taking it. Just take it off my hands. Just getting in the way. And so I said, okay, thanks. And so I took the bicycle. It was pretty old. I mean, it was, old and rusty, but nothing that couldn't be fixed up nice. And I knew that despite the fact he said I was doing him a favor for taking it out of his way and all this stuff, I knew I needed to give him what's called okaishi, a sort of gift that you get after you've received something. And I was aware of this, but I was kind of busy, and a week passed without me having gotten him okaishi yet. I had spaced it out a little bit. I was still planning on doing it, but I'd spaced it. So then he comes looking for me, and I wasn't there, so he tells my other next door neighbor, did Quinlan like the bicycle? Tell him that I really don't want anything for it, and it was just taking up space, and just wondering if he's getting any use out of it. And so my neighbor conveyed this message to me, and then my kind next door neighbor also translated it for me into more understandable Japanese, which he said he means, "Where's my beer?" Because of course we all knew that this old man in his 80s liked beer, and so the appropriate gift to give him for okaishi was beer, and I hadn't given him beer yet. So I rushed out that day to the grocery store, bought a 6-pack of beer, and brought it to him, and he sort of accepted it really nonchalant and was like, "Oh, here it is. My delivery's arrived." But, I mean, of course he said thanks, but it was sort of good, like an approving nod more than a thank you, you know. And why this is interesting to me is just that he literally said exactly the opposite of what he meant. He meant to say, "Where's my gift? Where's my return gift?" And he said, "Tell him I don't want anything, and he's doing me a favor." So that's just one example of a cultural difference here. I've told this story to a bunch of my friends, actually, and a couple of them have actually had similar experiences with other objects and being told similar things if they didn't get the gift soon enough. So it wasn't an isolated incident. That's really a thing. So, the moral of the story, if you're given something in Japan, remember to give back the okaishi gift. In terms of what's appropriate, there's a scale, it totally depends. That's a topic for another day. Okay, I've got to go. I'm gonna put my cameras away and be careful going down this mountain. It's really steep. And so I'm gonna say goodbye here. If you haven't followed me yet on Instagram, I'm Quinlan on Instagram. I'm GoNorthJ on Twitter. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the trails.